All right, so welcome. Thank you for joining us today, and early congratulations on your upcoming hooding ceremony.
Thank
We're
you.
here with Nathalye Spears. She is graduating from our MBA program with her emphasis in project management. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So can you give us a brief introduction of where you're from and what attracted you to the MBA program?
So I'm living in Philadelphia right now at the moment. I just moved there last year. And before that, I was living in New Jersey. So the program, basically, I was trying to find something that would be able to work with my regular work life that I already had, but something that I could do as well online, but was also a good school and that I could afford at the time as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about what you currently do for work, what your role is?
So right now I'm unemployed actually.
Okay.
So I'm just interviewing for different roles, trying to transition into project management. Before that, I was a paralegal working in a personal injury law firm. I have over 7 years of experience doing that. And a lot of the skills that I gained from there, as well as through the program, taking the different courses, I think will help me to get onto the next step of project management and transitioning into that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And so, from your experience, you mentioned a little bit about the affordability, a little bit about the flexibility with balancing employment at the same time. But as far as your experience, why would you recommend UW-Whitewater?
So this is actually my first time on campus. It is very big campus, at least
It's deceiving.
in my perspective.
Mhm.
But everyone so far is very nice. The professors are always, even though I was doing it online, the professors are going above and beyond to really help you. Obviously, I'm sure there's students that may have their opinions about the way professors do things and whatnot, but it is what it is with everything.
Mhm.
But I've never really encountered an issue where if maybe I was having an issue with the system, immediately I would call tech. Within 5-10 minutes, it was fixed.
Awesome.
If I was having an issue logging on as well, super quick to fix. Professors are very easy and accessible to speak with, either over the phone or email. They're really just there for you. And I think a lot of the coursework that I was taking, especially recently, I've been taking the last few courses I was taking was a lot of math heavy.
Okay.
And math is not necessarily my forte. But I would gladly say that I did get A's in all of the classes.
Congrats.
So thank you. But it really was because they were taking the time, even though it was online, or showing you videos, or let's say every week we're going to sync up and go through WebEx and do a class. And they would go step by step and teach you some of these things that were probably much more difficult for someone who maybe isn't as strong in math like I am. And then every course just kind of built more and more over what you already learned. So, I mean, now at this point, I can say I'm almost an expert in Excel with so many spreadsheets. So,
Yep. Yep. I believe that. That's great. Okay. Thank you.
yeah.
So you touched on this a little bit, but
Mhm.
throughout your process, can you name whether it's an instructor, a staff member, somebody that stood out to you and why?
Um, so I would say two. Christina Overly. I, I I hope I'm saying her last name correctly.
Yep.
And Maxwell Hugh.
Yes.
I hope again I'm saying that their names
Yep.
correctly. So with Christina, I was taking a project management class with her, and we all had to do kind of like an introduction video. She did her own introduction video, and I was just so impressed by her background. She is a project manager in real life, not only just in the classroom, teaching and being a professor, but, she has a lot of different certifications. She has her master's and all these things. So I felt like I was genuinely learning from someone that could eventually teach me to move into that space that I want to be in. And she was very thorough with all of her slides, all of her videos. I felt like I had a crash course in project management. There was things like, oh, agile methodologies and all these things, Scrum Master, that I probably didn't know before. But then once I actually took the course, I could be able to regurgitate it to somebody else if I needed to. So I really did appreciate that. And then with Maxwell, I was taking, I can't remember the name of the class, but it was also like a finance math class. I really cannot remember the name of it.
That's okay.
But either way, with him, we were doing a lot of, I like to call it statistics on steroids.
I love that.
So it was a lot of, like there was things that I was learning like, oh, how do you analyze this kind of data? Or what's the p-value to this? What's the hypothesis? Is it a null? Is it not? And the whole time I was taking the class, I was, it took extra effort from my part because he really was very thorough with all of the information he was giving us. He was constantly writing stuff on the announcements. We were doing weekly WebEx courses, or not courses, but like Zoom meetings in that sense. And he was always the entire time saying, if you need to speak to me, these are my office hours. This is the time that we can speak. And he was very quick to message me back. And I even explained to him, hey, listen, I recently changed my last name due to me getting married. So just so you're aware, in case you see these two different last names, this is who it is. And he wrote me a really beautiful message, just kind of giving me blessings and congratulating me on that.
Good.
And he was just always available, which is something that I really needed, especially for that kind of class that was very difficult, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I would joke to my husband and say, this homework is taking me 3 hours, right, to do it. I'm like, I need a break. I have a headache. But at the end of the day, I got an A in that class.
That's great.
And he was, he gave a lot of constructive criticism. It wasn't just, this is terrible or this is that. He would tell you the reason I'm deducting this is for the decimal point or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So I found that very helpful. And then the next course I took after that kind of just built on what I already learned with him. So
that's great. That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And then the last question I have for you today, what would you say to a student who's looking into starting a graduate program, but they're a little nervous about getting started?
I say do it. Just go ahead and do it. Listen, I understand that maybe everyone doesn't maybe have the money to do so or whatnot, but if you can take a chance on yourself, do it. People will go ahead and spend thousands of dollars on a shopping spree, on their hair, their nails, you name it, even rent. So why not invest in yourself? Because this is something that you're going to be proud of in the long run. And you're not just learning something that's in the classroom, you're learning things that are outside of the classroom that you can also take. As it is, I was in an interview earlier this week, and I was able to use some of the stuff that I was learning in the business classes to break down how I would resolve the issue at this company that I was that I was interviewing with. So I think you should just go ahead, do it. Even if you're scared, do it. Trust me, I was a little bit scared myself. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, especially since it was online. And again, not everyone has to do it online. They can do it in person. But either way, I think it was a very good experience. It helps to make you a better person and learn skills that you might not have been able to experience before or have prior to this. So just go ahead, sign up, please. Do not delay.
Yep. Quote that right there. I love it.
Oh, and one more thing I want to add. The good thing is that the semesters are broken down into kind of like half semesters. Mm-hmm. So you can essentially take, if you can't handle taking, let's say, 2 classes at once, you can take the first half of the semester 1 class, and then the second half take the other class. Obviously, it will take you a little longer, but if that's something that maybe works for you, that's also a great flexibility that you have.
You're absolutely right. That's perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time with us. Congratulations, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.